Factsverse presents. The reaction of this pit bull after getting surrendered to a shelter will melt your heart. We'd love to get a reaction from you. If you like what we're doing here at Factsverse, please click that like button. And if you're new, be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss our future videos. If you're an animal lover, this story is going to be kind of tough to get through. I'm pleased to tell you, though, that there is a happy ending to the story, so keep watching. If you have the ability to stick with it, you're not going to be disappointed at the end of the video. In Modesto, California, that animal shelter sees a fair share of voluntary surrenders every year from people that are either moving or can no longer take care of their pet. They're incapable of providing for that animal any longer either way. Or maybe that they just generally can't quite make life work with the burden of an animal on top of everything else. Well, that brings us to the story of Moses, a story shared by a volunteer at the Modesto Animal Shelter named Nancy Klein. A 4-year-old pit bull that had already been surrendered to the shelter by a family once before, Moses was being brought to the animal shelter by his forever home owners for surrender once again. Nancy had been working at the shelter for quite a long time, enough to remember Moses in the first ordeal getting placed. She recognized that if this pit bull was going to be surrendered again, the odds of him being adopted ever in the future were slim to none. Racing out to meet the owners of the dog to find out exactly why they were surrendering him to the shelter, her heart broke into a million pieces when she heard the family's story. Moses had been a sweet, kind, and loving part of this family for over 2 years, and they had absolutely no choice on demand to surrender him back to the animal shelter because of a revocation. A new job opportunity had opened up that couldn't be passed on, but the place where they'd be living in the future would not allow dogs of any kind whatsoever. The family was in tears while they were surrendering Moses, and Moses himself even realized something was wrong. In a video captured by Nancy, you can see this pit bull having a very difficult time saying goodbye to the family he knew that he loved unconditionally, a family that he had called his own ever since being surrendered the first time by owners who were neglectful. You can see the emotion of this dog as clear as day, and it obviously was a difficult decision for the family surrendering Moses as well. He did tricks. He laid down. He even placed his paw inside of the hand of his owner, as if begging not to be given up. Unfortunately, the owners were not able to find any other housing opportunities that would have allowed them to take the dog with them. They had to leave Moses at the shelter, knowing full well that the odds were not good that they would ever see him again. But, as I mentioned above, the story does have a happy ending. Nancy, obviously upset at the range of emotions this poor dog was going through, decided to share the story on social media. At first, the responses came in at sort of a trickle, but it didn't take long for a flood of messages to come pouring in. People were desperate to meet Moses, and it wasn't a week until a new family had decided to welcome him into their home. They had 2 young children, just like the original family that had to leave him behind, and all reports are that Moses is now happy in his new home. On top of that, because of the social media action that had been drummed up about this wonderful dog, donations came flooding into the Modesto Animal Shelter. People were so touched by this story and the story of other animals there that the group was able to raise a ton of money that'll be used to improve the facilities and better connect animals like Moses with new forever homes. At the end of the day, the family, they did have to walk away from Moses and left with a broken heart, but now they can take comfort in the fact that their furry little family member has a new family, people that love him, that'll take care of him, and that's a good ending for everyone. Subscribe for more.